Hello everyone, my name is Shubhi, and in this lecture we are going to talk about sociology CUET UG syllabus, and we are also going to start with our course. ओके तो अगर हम सिलेबस की बात करें तो सिलेबस में काफी चेंज हुआ है इस बार। और जो पुराना सिलेबस था उससे काफी टॉपिक्स निकल गए हैं। जैसे अगर मैं बात करूं, जो एक टॉपिक था आपका नेशनलिज्म कॉलोनियलिज्म वाला, वो अभी नहीं है। ओके, सो द एंटायर सिलेबस इज डिवाइडेड इनटू टू पार्ट्स। नंबर वन इज इंडियन सोसाइटी एंड द सेकंड पार्ट इज चेंज एंड डेवलपमेंट इन इंडिया। ओके, सो फर्स्ट पार्ट जो इंडियन सोसाइटी का है उसमें वी हैव 4 यूनिट्स एंड यूनिट्स के सब यूनिट्स हैं जिनको कि हम कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली पढ़ने वाले हैं फॉर योर एग्जाम। एंड ऑल्सो वी आर गोइंग टू एड PYQs, जो पास्ट के क्वेश्चंस हैं, पास्ट ईयर्स में जो आए हैं उनको भी हम देखेंगे, ताकि कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली हमारा एक पार्ट पूरी तरीके से प्रिपेयर होता जाए। ओके, अगर आज की बात करूं तो यूनिट वन का स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ इंडियन सोसाइटी से हम फर्स्ट जो चैप्टर देखने वाले हैं वो है डेमोग्राफिक स्ट्रक्चर। ओके, सो विदाउट एनी डिले लेट्स जस्ट बिगिन विद आवर वेरी फर्स्ट लेक्चर। ओके, सो अगर डेमोग्राफिक स्ट्रक्चर की हम बात करें तो डेमोग्राफी होता क्या है एक्चुअली। ओके, वो हम समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। सो इफ वी टॉक अबाउट डेमोग्राफी, इट इज एक्चुअली द सिस्टमैटिक स्टडी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन। पॉपुलेशन की जब एक साइंटिफिक तौर पे स्टडी की जाती है तो उसको बोला जाता है डेमोग्राफी। ओके, अगर इसके ओरिजिन की बात की जाए तो डेमोग्राफी जो वर्ड है वो ग्रीक वर्ड से ड्राइव हुआ है। ओके, डेमोस जिसका मतलब है पीपल एंड ग्राफी मतलब डिस्क्राइब, मतलब पीपल्स डिस्क्रिप्शन, लोगों को डिस्क्राइब करना, लोगों का डिस्क्रिप्शन कि कैसे एक सोसाइटी के कैसे पॉपुलेशन है, कैसे लोग हैं, क्या स्ट्रक्चर है। स्ट्रक्चर मतलब कि क्या एज ग्रुप के लोग हैं, क्या जेंडर के लोग हैं। ओके, ऑल दीज थिंग्स comes under, all these things come under demography. Okay, now it studies population trends, changes and composition. Population trends and changes का मतलब जो भी with time changes आ रहे हैं। For example, there was a time when Indian population was lesser than Chinese population. Okay, but now if we see Indian population exceed कर गई है, जो number है वो exceed कर गया है चाइना की population को। Also changes like एक टाइम ऐसा होगा कि बहुत यंग पॉपुलेशन ज्यादा होगी। देयर विल बी अ टाइम व्हेन यंगर पॉपुलेशन विल बी मोर, एंड देयर विल बी अ टाइम व्हेन other like maybe children will be more, or maybe the old age people will be more. So these types of changes keep happening in the system, in the structure of the demography. Okay, now when we talk about demography we basically see two types of it. Okay, number one is formal demography, which is talking about quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis matlab what is fertility rate, what is mortality rate, what is sex ratio, all that. Okay, ये हम डिटेल में अभी आगे देखेंगे, we are going to see this in detail. Then we talk about social demography. Social demography is actually trying to understand the population in terms of the society and the culture where it is placed. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर एक सोसाइटी है जहाँ पे कि लेट मैरिज का कंसेप्ट है। ओके, लेट मैरिजेस का कंसेप्ट है, सो दैट सोसाइटी विल हैव मे बी लेस पॉपुलेशन, वहाँ की पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ कम होगी शायद, क्योंकि वहाँ का जो लेट मैरिज का कंसेप्ट है, ज्यादा टाइम तक लोग सेलिबेसी प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, लेट मैरिजेस होंगी, फिर लेट उनके बच्चे होंगे, ऑफस्प्रिंग्स होंगे, सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स। ओके, सो दिस वाज जस्ट एन एग्जांपल एंड दिस इज व्हाट सोशल डेमोग्राफी डज। ओके, so these two types, they are important because this is your CUET exam is MCQ based, सो आई कीप टेलिंग यू कि कौन सा एरिया ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है उस पर्सपेक्टिव से. ओके, ऑल्सो दिस इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. नाउ, what is the importance of demography? If we talk about demography, why is it important? Why is it very important to understand uh, कि क्या structure है? What is the structure of population in a particular area? Why is it important? For policy making, for economic development. How? Let's take an example. Suppose कोई ऐसा देश है जहाँ पर बहुत ज्यादा इन्फेंट मोर्टालिटी रेट है. इन्फेंट मोर्टालिटी रेट मतलब जो छोटे बच्चे हैं 1 से 2 साल के, आई मीन 0 से 2 साल के, वो उनकी बहुत ज्यादा डेथ्स हो रही है. सो इसका मतलब द गवर्नमेंट नीड्स टू वर्क अपॉन दिस थिंग. दे नीड टू काइंड ऑफ टेक केयर ऑफ हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटी. उनको इम्प्रूव करना है, बेटर करना है. तो ये कैसे पता चलेगा? जब वो स्टडी करेंगे डेमोग्राफी की. डेमोग्राफी की स्टडी के बाद ही, आफ्टर द स्टडी ऑफ डेमोग्राफी, पीपल और रादर द पॉलिसी मेकर विल कम टू नो कि किस डायरेक्शन में उनको डेवलपमेंट करना है, किस डायरेक्शन में पॉलिसीज बनानी है. ओके, हेल्प्स अंडरस्टैंड बर्थ एंड डेथ रेट, माइग्रेशन एंड एज स्ट्रक्चर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर माइग्रेशन बहुत ज्यादा है किसी कंट्री में, तो उसको स्टडी करके ये पता करने की कोशिश की जा सकती है कि क्या रीजंस है कि लोग माइग्रेट कर रहे हैं. व्हाट आर द रीजंस दैट पीपल आर माइग्रेटिंग. ओके, देर आर वेरियस रीजंस फॉर माइग्रेटिंग ऑल्सो. ओके, बहुत से लोग माइग्रेट करते हैं बिकॉज उनको क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ अच्छी नहीं लगती किसी जगह की, या उनको लगता है दूसरे देशों में बेटर अपॉर्चुनिटीज है इन टर्म्स ऑफ इनकम एंड वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस एक्सेट्रा. सो ये स्टडी करके आप पता कर सकते हो कि क्या एक्चुअली व्हाट आर द रीजंस फॉर दीज चेंजेस. ओके, now this is also used by governments for resource allocation and social welfare program. Now let's take an example. If you talk about a state like UP, okay, we have a huge population in UP. So जब डेमोग्राफिक स्ट्रक्चर पता चलेगा गवर्नमेंट को, तभी तो वो रिसोर्स एलोकेशन करेंगी. तभी तो उनको पता चलेगा कहाँ पे कितना रिसोर्स चाहिए, कहाँ पे कितना नहीं चाहिए. ऐसा ना हो जाए कि ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन वाले स्टेट में कम रिसोर्स चले जाए और कम पॉपुलेशन वाले स्टेट में ज्यादा रिसोर्स चले जाए. सो फॉर ऑल दीज थिंग्स, फॉर मेंटेनिंग सोशल वेलफेयर, फॉर मेकिंग सच प्रोग्राम्स, गवर्नमेंट नीड्स टू हैव proper demographic structure, study of proper demographic structure. Okay, now it provides insights into population growth and its impact on society. Okay, कि what is actually the trend of population growth. Population कैसे grow कर रही है नहीं कर रही है. If there is too much of growth, how we can control it so that in future we don't have population explosion. All these things, this is what we study in demography, and this is why demographic studies are very very important. Okay, now there are theories, a few theories in your CRT book which are very important from your exams perspective. Also, uh, इस पे questions आ चुके हैं. There have been questions in past, and there can be questions in your coming exam also. So first is Malthusian theory of population growth. Very simply, you all must have read it. Okay, अगर आपने sociology पहले पढ़ा 11 12 में, तो you must have read this theory. And बाकी economics वगैरह में भी ये theory पढ़ते हैं. And if not, shortly I will tell you. Uh, detail, actually in detail also I will tell you. But all the important points from MCQ's perspective, I will definitely tell you here. Now, this is actually a theory given by Thomas Robert Malthus. Okay, and in this theory, he says that population grows geometrically, means the population is multiplying, whereas the food supply is growing arithmetically. So, population is basically multiplying, whereas uh, the food supply is, it's kind of adding. So it's like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, whereas the population is multiplying. So जो population है वो बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ रही है. Okay, and जो फूड सप्लाई है वो एक टाइम पे कम पड़ जाएगी। अब उसको हमें रोकने के लिए, बिकॉज देर विल बी अ टाइम जब ओवर पॉपुलेशन हो जाएगी, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ती जाएगी, उतनी फूड सप्लाई है नहीं। सो उसको रोकने के लिए ही गेव टू चेक्स, right? So what was those two checks he gave? One is preventive checks and another one is positive checks. Preventive checks are the checks like खुद से पॉपुलेशन को बढ़ने से रोकना, like birth control, celibacy, शादी लेट होना, all those things. Okay, so these are the examples. And when we talk about positive checks मतलब कि population का खत्म होना, जैसे किसी वॉर में, वॉर के कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस से बहुत सारी पॉपुलेशन खत्म हो जाती है, भूखमरी से, डिजीजेस से, यू नो, लाइक वी हैड कोविड एंड उस टाइम में बहुत सारी पॉपुलेशन गई। सो ऑल दीज आर दी एग्जांपल्स ऑफ पॉजिटिव चेक्स। ओके, दीज टू आर इम्पोर्टेंट। नाउ this theory has been criticized a lot. Okay, although you don't need to go into details of this, but let's just have an idea of it. So economic growth and technological advancement actually has increased food production. So if we talk about today's scenario, हम देख रहे हैं कि there have been very good fertilizers, there have been hybrid technologies which are helping us to grow better, and you know, at a vast level we can grow the fruit food. So वो कहीं ना कहीं ये इस थ्योरी का एक बहुत बड़ा क्रिटिसिज्म हो जाता है। Marxists argue poverty is due to unequal distribution and not population growth. So we have also talked about, we very much talk about Marx and his ideas in sociology, and it believes, is his theories believe, and the people who follow his ideas believe that it is actually due to unequal distribution. जो resources हैं उनका बराबरी पे distribution ना होना मेन कारण है, ना कि population growth एक कारण है गरीबी का। And Europe experience proved Malthus wrong, as living standards improved despite population growth. Okay, so this is how this theory was criticized. Now there is another theory which is called as demographic transition theory. So this theory is basically trying to link the population growth with economic development. So how economic development can impact the population growth, and population growth can impact the economic development. So there were basically three stages. He suggests that all the society go through three main stages, and number one is when there is high birth rate and death rate. Birth rate is high, death rate is also high, so population growth कम होगी. Okay, why? High birth rate because people are not educated, they have no idea, or you know, they are not into uh, practicing such things which can prevent birth rates. And then death rate is also high because healthcare facilities are not good. People, the system or the state is not well equipped and well aware. Second stage is decline death rate but high birth rate. So second stage में क्या होता है कि जो डेथ रेट है वो कम हो जाती है बिकॉज हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटीज आ चुके हैं। ओके, बट जो बर्थ रेट है वो इजीली कम नहीं होते बिकॉज बर्थ रेट इज बेसिकली रिलेटेड टू मोर कल्चर एंड कल्चर ऑफ द सोसाइटी। ओके, सो वो जो है वो कम नहीं होता है। एंड इसी वजह से जो सेकंड स्टेज है उसमें पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन हो जाता है। पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन मीन्स बहुत ज्यादा एकदम से पॉपुलेशन बढ़ जाती है जिसकी वजह से population explosion होता है। अब if I tell you, okay, let me ask you later, let's come the third stage first, which is both birth rate and death rate decline and population stabilizes. Birth rate भी कम हो गए हैं because now people are educated. Okay, they are using the preventive ways to control birth rates, and death rate भी कम हो गई है because of healthcare. Okay, now this is where population stabilizes. So जो ये third stage है, this is the stage where all the developed nations are. Now can anybody tell me where India stands? So India is actually in the in the second stage and moving towards the third stage. So India currently is in the second stage. Okay. So these were the three stages of population growth. Now, there are some parameters as I told you, like there were two parts, formal demography and social. Now let's talk about the formal demography, which indicators that we use. So what is birth rate? All of you already know this, but just to give you an overview, okay, birth rate is what? Number of live birth per thousand people per year. Okay, so there are possibilities that they might give you options. So in one option, then they might give you number of live births per thousand people, and they might not write per year. So you have to take care of these very small things. ठीक है, ये छोटी छोटी बातें आपको ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी कि exact definition आपको आनी चाहिए. Then death rate, number of deaths per thousand people per year. Then infant mortality rate. So when we talk about infant mortality rate, इन्फेंट जो हैं, जो छोटे बच्चे हैं 0 से 1 ईयर, ओके, उनकी जब डेथ होती है पर थाउजेंड, 1000 बच्चे जो पैदा हो रहे हैं, उनमें से कितने बच्चे मर जाते हैं 1 साल के होने तक, they are called as, that is called as infant mortality rate. Then we have life expectancy. इन सब पे क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. ओके, इन पे क्वेश्चंस आते रहते हैं, पास्ट में भी आए हैं. सो बी वेरी particular about this, and try to keep it in mind. Life expectancy is what? Estimated number of years a person is expected to live. Life expectancy मतलब कि एक जो expected और estimated time है कि एक बंदा कितने सालों तक जी सकता है, that is what we called as life expectancy. Then sex ratio, number of females per thousand male. 1000 पुरुषों पर कितनी स्त्रियां हैं, that is what we called as sex ratio. Okay, then dependency ratio. So dependency ratio is the ratio जो नॉन वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन का होता है ओवर वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन. सो नॉन वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन इज चिल्ड्रन एंड एल्डरली. सो 15 ईयर्स से छोटे एंड 64 से बड़े, 64 और 65. ओके, 65. So they are dependent, and they are dependent on the working population. Okay, that is what we called as dependency ratio. Census and population data, which is given in your book. बहुत ज़्यादा इस पे नहीं आएगा because if we talk about census, तो last 2011 में हुआ था, and तब से अभी तक वो डेटा मोस्टली नहीं पूछेंगे because it's already 2025 जब तक लेटेस्ट नहीं आता, but still because that is there in the book, you must see it. Census is conducted every 10 years in India since 1881. This is important कि first time census कब हुआ है, कब से ये होता जा रहा है. ओके, तो लगातार हो रहा है 1881 से, हर 10वें साल में. अभी नहीं हो पाया because of COVID. Provides detailed population data for policy making. Okay, so this helps, as we have already seen earlier, कि जो population data है वो policy making में बहुत help करता है. And if we talk about population of 2011, population was 1.21 billion and literacy rate was 74%. And if you talk about this census, this is the largest exercise performed in the world. Book के हिसाब से it was after China, but actually now it is India only. If we talk about population growth, it has accelerated after independence. There are several reasons because uh, if you see, there was green revolution, many plan and policies were coming up which helped in generating food, better food technique, production is better, all those things are there. Okay, high fertility rate is there in some states like Bihar, UP, and Rajasthan. UP is the most populous state, and Bihar has the highest population density. Okay, Kerala and Tamil Nadu have achieved replacement level. So, इनका जो what we can say, जो population है, that is very under control. Urbanization and socio-economic factors affect growth rate. Obviously, what is the standard? What are the socio-economic condition of the people of the area of the state? That definitely affects the population growth. For example, if we talk about developed country, their population is very limited. That is why they hire a lot of people from developing nations to work in their countries. Let's talk about very important concept. इस पे भी past में questions आ चुके हैं. Demographic dividend. If we talk about demographic dividend, पीछे भी हमने बात की. So, it actually talk about economic advantage. अगर demographic dividend ज्यादा है तो it is beneficial. Means जो working age population है वो ज्यादा है. Okay, so ज्यादा लोग काम करेंगे means जो economy है वो अच्छे से grow करेगी. And if we talk about India, it has young population, or average young population is 29. So this is very good. This is also according to census 2011. To benefit requires investment in education, employment, and skill development. Obviously, we have population, पर उसको human resource बनाना है. Okay, human resource बनाना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? We have to invest in education. We have to invest in skill development. ताकि लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा स्किल हों, ज्यादा से ज्यादा अच्छी एजुकेशन हो उनके पास, तो वो अच्छे से अच्छी एम्प्लॉयमेंट ग्रैब कर सके एंड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट खत्म हो जाए. Otherwise, it could lead to unemployment and social instability. Right? Now, if we talk about sex ratio, it is being declining in India. And again, we are going to take the data of 2011 because we are not actually taking it, the book says. And this is a tip for you that the syllabus is very much, and the entire syllabus is from NCRT books. So I will request you, if you watch these lectures, very good. But you can also go through the books. They are very, very helpful, and mostly questions are from there on. And I will, to save the time, I will bring the compiled, what can I say, compiled form of the lecture, so that it can help you people to save your time. And I will also compile the past questions so that you can get an idea what kind of questions are asked and how you can prepare. Okay. Now, so sex ratio is declining due to son preference and female infanticide. Okay, because in India we see that there is a lot of preference of uh, son, beta hona chahiye. That is what is there in India. So that is why there is a decline in sex ratio. So if we talk about sex ratio, it is 943 female per thousand male according to census 2011. If we talk about child sex ratio, it is even lower, and this is a concern. Child sex ratio क्यों कम हो रहा है? Because female infanticide, all of these things are happening. Government has done many initiatives like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. This is actually working towards addressing this issue. Is the same? We had a question in past. I think 2024 the paper mein hi there is a question. So whatever, all this is prepared from NCRT. That is why I'm giving a lot of emphasis on it. That the questions are asked from there only. Population policies in India. So 1952, if we talk about this, after independence, India was the first country to introduce a family planning program. Okay. So this is important first. Okay, this keyword is important. National Population Policy 2000 says it is actually aiming to achieve the replacement fertility rate. Then, if we talk about National Health Policy 2017, it focuses on improving healthcare and reducing fertility rate. ये you should go through this. Okay, अच्छे से दो तीन चार पांच बार. If you people want, I can give you the PDF also. Just go through it because this is important. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, ईयर्स पूछ सकते हैं, और दे कैन आस्क what was the aim of National Health Policy 2017. Okay, so these types of questions can be asked, and they have been asked in the past also. Shift from coercion to voluntary participation and awareness. So कोई जबरदस्ती वाले नहीं, there have been a shift in voluntary participation of Indians. So there have been rural urban differences in population, although we are going to see this in detail जब हम second chapter करेंगे इस unit का, तो हम इसको detail में देखेंगे. But just to see, rural population is 68.8% according to census 2011, and urban population is 31.2%. There is rapid urbanization due to migration and better job opportunities. So urbanization बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है because of people migrating from rural area to urban area. बट इसके साथ बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाती हैं, बिकॉज एकदम से जब बहुत ज्यादा लोग रूरल एरिया से अर्बन एरिया में जाते हैं तो इनएडिक्वेट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होता है, स्लम्स बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट बढ़ जाता है, बिकॉज कितने भी ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज हो पॉपुलेशन के कंपैरिजन में कम ही रह जाते हैं. सो दैट इज one of the most important challenges. So challenges like inadequate infrastructure, slum growth, unemployment happen. Okay, so now we have some past questions. Let's try to see them. Number one, you have to match these, okay, from list one to list two. And we have seen these all in the a few slides. We saw this a few slides back. Fertility rate, total fertility rate, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate. Okay. If you see fertility rate, number of live births per 1,000 women in the childbearing age group. So this is correct. Total fertility rate is this only, total number of live births that a hypothetical woman would have during her entire reproductive year. So total fertility is number of live births in a particular age group. Okay, in the age of childbearing. But total fertility is like the number of children she can have. She's not having, but she can have in her reproductive years. So that is what we called as total fertility rate. Infant mortality rate is actually the number of deaths of babies before the age of 1. Okay. And maternity is total number of women who die in childbirth per 1,000 live birth. So 1, A का 1, B का 2, A का 1, B का 2, A का 1, B का 2. So out of 1 or 3, C का 4. So 3 will be the correct option for this. Okay. Now the second question is, which program of Government of India directly targets at improving sex ratio? We just saw it in a few slides back. Widow pension, prenatal diagnostic techniques, Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, Sukanya Samriddhi. So this is Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. But let's see about the others also. So Beti Bachao Beti Padhao is the scheme which was launched in 2015 to address the decline child sex ratio. Okay, and to promote the survival, protection, and education of girl child. And what it aims at gender bias sex selection to prevent it and ensure survival and well-being of girl child and promote education and empowerment of girls. Let's see other options. Widow pension. It supports widows financially but does not focuses on sex ratio. Prenatal diagnostic techniques, regulation and prevention of misuse act. It is about preventing sex selective abortion, but it's a legal framework and not a government program. This is important. It is a legal framework. Okay. Now, Sukanna Samriddhi Yojana, a saving scheme for a girl child's future, but does not directly improve the sex ratio. It is basically a saving scheme, जो कि फ्यूचर में कुछ मॉनेटरी एस्पेक्ट्स को बेटर करने के लिए है, बट सेक्स रेशियो से इट इज नॉट डायरेक्टली लिंक्ड. दैट इज व्हाई all these three options are not correct, and beti bachao beti padhao is the correct one. Now, question number 3. A falling dependency ratio can be source of falling dependency ratio. गिर रहा है, dependency ratio गिर रहा है मतलब जो लोग डिपेंडेंट हैं, मतलब चिल्ड्रन or maybe old age or maybe unemployed, they are also, that is decreasing. So what is it showing? Prosperity, economic growth, cause of worry and burden. Dependency ratio बढ़ रहा है, it's a good thing, right? So it will be source of prosperity and economic growth. A and B. A and B. So 3 will be the correct option. Okay. Next question. 4. What does population pyramid show? Okay. So I have, for this was not there. This pyramid was not there in the question paper. I have kept it for uh, for your understanding basis. So what is it showing? This is age. So it is talking about age. Then it is talking about male, female. So it is talking about gender or sex. Then this is basically about the growth. Okay, so age, growth, and gender. Age, growth, yes. Option 4 will be correct. Age, gender, and growth. Okay. Now, this was 4. This is question number 5. All these are past questions. High rates of infant mortality and maternal mortality is the result of which factor? Poverty and illiteracy, poverty and development, life expectancy and poverty, life illiteracy and development. See, for this question, this is very easy. Infant mortality and maternity, these are negative things to happen, right? So, development is a positive thing, so ये option नहीं होगा. Life expectancy is definitely not connected, and development is again. So, option 1 will be correct, poverty and illiteracy. Question number 6. Among the population of India, the working age people are relatively larger in number. What is the reason for this? Okay, we have read this. We have read about this. अभी हमने पढ़ा था. Sex ratio, number of people in infant group, demographic dividend, low number of people who are unemployed. So this will be option 3, demographic dividend. Question number 7. Okay, so these are the 4 options. Sorry, the 4 points, 4 statements, and you have to arrange them in a right sequence. Large numbers of poor and powerless people were forcibly sterilized. The National Family Planning Program was renamed as the National Family Welfare Program. Population policy took the concrete form of the National Family Planning Program. The government of India introduced the National Health Policy incorporating socio-demographic goals. So which will be correct? What will be the correct sequence for them? Let's see. So number 1 is, in 1952 we had the population policy that took the concrete form of National Family Planning Program. And A, the vast number of poor and powerless people were forcibly sterilized in 1970s during the emergency. Okay, mass sterilization actually took place that time. The National Family Planning Program was renamed as the National Family Welfare Program in 1977. Then the government of India introduced the National Health Policy in 1983. So right sequence will be CABD. CABD. So option 4 will be correct. CABD. Okay. Okay, so this was it. We saw a good number of questions, 7 questions from past, and we actually revised or learned the entire chapter in just few minutes. So with this, I'm concluding this particular session, and I'll see you soon in the next session with the next chapter. Till then, keep studying, and if you people have any doubt or if you want any kind of change, कुछ ज़्यादा हिंदी में चाहिए, ज़्यादा English में चाहिए, that also you can let me know. Thank you so much. Keep studying, and you can put your comments if you have any doubt.